Hey everyone, welcome to this channel where we make a study easy to understand for everyone. So let's dive deep into the topic. Hey, you must have heard the word government mentioned several times. So in this chapter, we will learn about what a government is and the important role it plays in our lives. So here we will discuss what is government, definition of government, and various things. When human beings live and work together, there needs to be some amount of organization so that decisions can be made. So when people live around us, they must be follow some rules and regulations so that all the people could live in a good manner, in a civilized manner. So ensurement or ensuring these all the things into the individuals and the human being, it is the role of that organization which is called government. The government also has the job of protecting the boundaries of the country and maintaining peaceful relations with other countries because see, this is the India. Okay. And if there are no government, then who will decide how the laws will prevail in our society, how the peoples will act? So, government is very essential, very useful for every country, not only in India, for every country for their betterment, their peaceful management, environment the government is required. So basically, this definition I provided you on the PPT format. A government is the system or group of people governing an organized community, often a state that is called country. So maintaining law and order on this territory is the primary function of the government. Importance of government in a society. Government makes decisions that affect our lives and ensure order. Basically, what we discussed are written in here. Now that you know that the government is responsible for so many different things, can you think of how it manages to do all this? So here the picture comes into the categorization of government. This is the category of the government. It divides or the rules making body are existed in our society into these levels which calls the the government works at different levels, at the local levels, at the levels of the state and the national level. The local government or the local level would mean that which covers and which covers at the level of locals or the gram levels or the city level, and the state level would means that which cover an entire state like Haryana, Assam, Punjab, Delhi, Maharashtra, etc., which are basically our state. You also can notice and observe that one government are on your local level. That may be the might be living in urban areas or rural areas. So accordingly, the governments are existing in our local level. And you also find some state level government that chief minister of the governments and the governor. in case of union territory, and one government which controls entire territory of India, that is called central level government, that is not prime minister and another things. Government, that does not mean only the law-making body. It will be discussed in further. Yeah. So this is the key functions of government and what the term government include in itself. The government means legislative bodies, executive bodies, and judicial bodies, which means legislative has the power to make laws for our country. That means all the people which you selected by the people of India, which sits into the parliament and decide what laws could be followed in our country. On the basis of that, peoples will follow it, and the executive has the work for the enforcement of those laws which are made by the parliamentarian, and the judiciary has also an important role to firstly check that laws are accordingly the people's interest and it not violating the fundamental laws, fundamental things which are needful for the people. So check and balance over that laws, and if some violation happening from the people's side, the judiciary also keep an eye to regulate and punish them also. So making laws is the part of government, that means parliamentarians and also state assemblies. So here it is also included. State assembly also does make laws for the peoples of their respective states, and implementing laws. That means executive's role is here very crucial. And so basically the government makes laws and everyone who lives in the country has to follow these. This is the only way governments can function. Just like the government has the power to make decisions, similarly, it has the power to enforce its decision. So, making the laws, I already told you that parliamentarian can make laws and executive have the power to enforce it. And if anyone does violates it, then it will, on the basis of the court, they will decide punishment as well. For example, in this book, you will find a example also that there is a law that say that all person driving a motor vehicle must have a license, and any person caught driving a vehicle without a license can either be jailed or fine a large sum of money. So this is the example of if a person are not following the rules and policies and laws, then he will be punished, no doubt. Let's read about the types of government. So basically, this is the chapter, dear student. Uh, this is the categorization of the government on the basis of the ruler which ruled over the territory. And in ancient time, you will find that there was the time period of Rajas and Maharajas. Basically, those were called as monarchy. And now you will find that various countries are following the government which are very popular in nature that called democratic government. It is very important for for the country that that who is governing these bodies, and India is a democracy. So this is the good way of govern the country, and because here you will find the participation, active participation of their peoples. They elect the governments, they choose how to be regulated our country, in which manner it will be organized and functions. So democracy means the government which is made for the people by the people. It is very important. So this is the definition of a democracy, a system of government where citizens exercise power by voting. By voting means universal adult franchise. The word universal adult franchise means every adult people have the power to vote so that they could be able to choose their government, choose their r- ruling body who will make the laws. They must have the power to decide to whom I should give power to make laws and govern over us. Because this is the right, this is the freedom which must have to available for every citizen who is adult, who is sound mind, who have capacity, who have developed capacity to maintain himself. It is very important. So adult franchise is very important. Various countries makes it. In India also, you find some examples in the Britishers time period that they provided some limited persons to this right to voting. They kept it to the educated people and some wealthier peoples. Women always been excluded to having voting rights. But current time, in present time, when our constitution were had drafted, then our constitution makers always think, and we should be thankful for them because it is belongs to them. They had very greater thinking that all adult peoples must have voting rights so that they could choose to whom they want to give the power to govern over the territory. So in India, there is universal adult franchise. Uh, and let's see the next type of government, the monarchy government, a government ruled by a king or queen, and dictatorship, a government where one person holds absolute power. In democratic country, people have power to checks and balance over the rules and ask questions if any violation happening of the organization, that government. But in monarchy system, the people have no right. Even the laws are against people's interest, then always they have to seek the permission of that king or queen to make changes or alteration in that rule. If kings avoid to change that rules, then it will be binding over that peoples. So having monarchy and monarchy system, it is very tough. And a dictatorship are worst type of government. It's not according to their citizen centric, their welfare centric. Dictatorship is the one person powerful, because here you will find only one person have all the power to regulate their functions. But in a democratic country you will find that there are various organizations, as I explained you in previous slide, that parliament is a laws making body, and executive is a different body who enforce that laws, and judiciary have their own separate types of decorum to maintain and regulate the laws. So separation of power is very important, and that is why types of democratic government is very relevant, very essential for our society. And so this is the importance of government, which we should understand in a glance, that governments protect our rights and freedom. This is why we should have a government. Government maintain laws and order in society, and also they provide some schemes so that the poor people or those people who are suffering from that, which comes forward into the mainstream, and they also realize that government are working for them. Various healthcare, education, and various schemes you will find there in our society that government are making for their citizens. So government are essential for maintaining order, protecting rights, and providing services. Encouragement for active participation. Citizens should actively participate in the democratic process to ensure a just and fair society. So these are all the things. And in book you will find that Gandhiji's statement. So you can read it because Gandhiji always are a prominent leader, which always provide us a very good source of light to have a greater vision in our society, in our country. So we must have to follow them. And